Hey guys. Oh, bummer. Okay, who have we got on here? Hold on, I'm just trying to get myself organized with my headphones. Woo! Full house today. Wow, everyone wants to know how to build a bot. That's cool. Hey Rutger, how's it going? Good. Okay, cool. All right, so Melanie, Michael, Naomi, Rochelle, Shayna, Shanda, Susie. Where are the guys, man? There's no men representing today. All the girls are going to become like Manychat experts. That's cool. All right, cool. Well, welcome everyone. Thanks for, yes, Susie, we bumped that. So this is actually like an impromptu training because we had a training last week around Christmas and Black Friday with Rich. And one of the strategies that he was talking about was rolling out a bot to pre-Black Friday, pre-Christmas, to build a highly engaged messenger audience of buyers and shoppers to protect your clients and protect yourself, especially as those CPMs start to rise. So that's what we discussed, and then I think it was like a pretty big consensus on the call that everyone was like, how do we do this? How do we even roll this bot out? How does it work? So we've called an impromptu training, and we've shifted the SDK call. In fact, it might be shifted by 2 weeks, unfortunately, because next week there's been a lot of screenshots and questions across all the groups, including ad hacks, and people messaging me and different theories about a whole bunch of different shit. So there's like all these different theories out there around how to do different things and what's working, what's not. And some of it is like shockingly BS, and some of it is truth, but it's dangerous truth to have unless you know how to handle other aspects of it, such as manual bidding. So I think we might actually do another impromptu training next week where Tom and I are going to go through scaling myths, scaling strategies, like just freaking lay it all out and go through. I've got like a folder of all these questions and myths and things that people are saying, and just lay it all out and go, okay, this is why this theory works, or this is why this theory doesn't work, or this is why this theory can work. However, it will only work if this and this happens. Just so you guys are like super, super clear, because there's a lot of, there's just a lot of theories out there on Facebook on how to make it work and how to not make it work, and everyone's got different opinions, and it can be really, really confusing sometimes. Yeah, Greg, that's exactly why we're doing that training, because that prompted it. We had like a whole bunch of people messaging us about scaling, and there was some weird theories in there, some good theories such as duplication. However, that strategy is very dangerous unless you don't know how to work manual bidding. So duplication, you can cannibalize yourself pretty quickly. So that's what we're going to do next week. So it's definitely going to be an advanced call, and then we'll have our SDK. If you need help with that, Susie, just reach out in the group and I can help you with that. Okay, cool. So without further ado, today's call is an exciting call. I think Rutger, you'll be very pleased. It's one of our busiest calls so far.
Right.
Oh, so this is Rutger. So he is an Academy masterminder. He is a freaking gun when it comes to bots. In fact, we're working with him right now for an FATC bot and an agency bot as well. And he's kind of like obsessed with them and obsessed with Manychat and all of this stuff. So last week, Rich did a training around Xmas and Black Friday, and I didn't even realize it's your Thanksgiving coming up this week. So guys, just a reminder, normally your ads kind of around that time. So just be aware of that. It's pretty normal to see little dips in your advertising and your conversion rates. So we've got all these things coming up, and what he was talking about, and if you didn't get a chance to watch that training call last week, please do, because it was brilliant. So many amazing ideas in there. But one of the ideas that he shared was, look, we're coming into, and I think really next week is when it's going to start to really ramp up those high CPMs where advertising just gets more and more expensive. How can we as marketers protect the ROA of our campaigns, get really great results for our clients, and actually, in a way, kind of shine and show them that we know and we're thinking about them? Because a lot of clients, I don't know if you can relate with this, some of them may think sometimes that they can do Facebook ads, or it's like, why am I paying you type of thing. But most of them have no freaking idea what they're doing when it comes to bots, like zero idea. So if you can offer this as a service, or upsell this, or cross-sell this as a service, it definitely goes a long way with clients, and it puts you ahead of the curve, right? It makes you indispensable. So we're going to be looking at building out this Xmas strategy that Rich talked about. So the example that he specifically gave was that before all of this madness kicks in, roll out a bot and ask people to comment so that they are essentially opting in to receive specials and deals. And it could be something, you could theme it like the 12 days of deals, or 12 days of special, or 12 days. So what we're actually looking at today is Rutger's going to show us the technical side. How do you actually build this thing? Step by step, how do you actually build it, the sequences, et cetera, et cetera. And then what we'll do is we'll have a fireside chat once you go through this, and we'll powwow some different ideas. So it's not just Rich's idea, but hopefully you can get your creative juices flowing, and we'll powwow ideas of how it can relate to different verticals and different niches, so that everyone feels like, oh, it's not just an e-commerce thing, it could work for a whole range of clients. So without further ado, I will let Rutger intro himself and kick it in.
Cool.
Just gonna mute a few people.
Just opened.
What time is it for you, by the way?
11:10.
Oh, it's super early
No,
for an entrepreneur.
Cool. Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me, Kat? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Nice. Give me 1 sec. I just need to go. Oh, I lost you. Oh, here it is. Okay. Shall I share my screen?
Yeah. Share your screen. I'm just muting a few people. Yep.
I'm going to share my screen. Get this ready here. Cool. Okay, ready for this?
I don't know. Are we ready? Should we hold on to our shorts? Is that what you're telling us?
Hold on to
okay,
let's go. Okay, thank you, Kat, for the super welcome. Awesome. Yes, I am somewhat obsessed by messenger bots, messenger sequences, since I got introduced to them about maybe 3 or 4 months ago. And I think the most important thing why I am so excited about these messenger bots sequences, how you wanna approach them, is because they work and they are awesome, and you can do so many awesome things with them, so much more than we are used to, or let's say that we are used to, than what we can do with email. I get super excited about that. I mean, email is, everybody, probably most people amongst us are using email in their campaigns, in their upsells, in their cross-sells, whatever. But it's a one-way street. It's more or less, we're sending out emails and we're hoping for the best. We're hoping that our emails get opened and even get clicked on the links. And we all know that all the open rates and the click-through rates in emails are declining. And I will show you some stats in a couple of sheets from now, is that the engagement, the open rates, the click-through rates, and even the conversion rates in Messenger are through the roof, no doubt, and no exception. So that's one of the reasons why I'm super excited about these bots, because I see them work and they're even more awesome than email, but they work awesome together. So let's kick it off and let's...
I just want to add a note to that. They're awesome if you do them right. So
yeah, exactly. It's the same with email. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and if you try to do your email, which is what we did when we did a test, we spent like $27,000 on a test, and our email came out on top. However, I don't know that we were really understanding messenger bots and how to natively authentically use them. So we were more taking like an email strategy into that, and it just didn't really work. So they work really well if you really get a grasp of how to use them natively and authentically.
Exactly. It's not email. It looks like email, but it's not email. You shouldn't copy your email flows one-on-one to Messenger, because it just doesn't make sense. Just think about how people use Messenger apps. You're on the phone, you're waiting or something, you have your phone, you just scroll through your Messenger Messenger app, in this case probably Facebook Messenger, or here in Europe we use WhatsApp a lot. And it should be short, descriptive, and fun. And you can use all kinds of tools in Messenger, like video, like cards, like links, like buttons, questions, whatever, to keep it engaged. And that's something you don't have in email. And I think if you tap into all those tools that are available for Messenger, you will be successful. You will definitely be successful, and it's easy to test as well. Manychat is rolling out some pretty cool features for A/B testing as well, but that's not here yet, but it's coming. So the big question is, why should you use messenger bots? Besides the fact that the open rates and the click-through rates are often through the roof, your clients and your clients' clients are shifting away from email and are moving towards messenger apps. So there is actually no reason not to dive into messenger apps or messenger bots or messenger sequences. Let's call them messenger apps for now, in this case Facebook Messenger. People are moving away. We are communicating differently than we did 10, 15 years ago. Probably 15 years ago, when email was the new kid on the block, when email was cool, people enjoyed getting emails. I mean, but today we are getting so many emails, we just drown in them. So just keep in mind, communication is shifting. Your clients are shifting away from email. Your clients' clients are shifting away from email, and it's time just to get that competitive advantage for yourself. Messenger marketing is on its way to become the world's #1 marketing channel. I mean, it's not there yet. It's still relatively new. But if you see the vast majority of people who are using messenger apps, and Facebook Messenger in particular, 1.2 billion people, I repeat, 1.2 billion people around the world, these are numbers from April 2017, 1.2 billion people use Facebook Messenger apps. Crazy, we should be in there. As said, the world moves away from email and towards messenger apps, and those who are able to jump in now, the early adopters, will have or will create a competitive advantage for themselves. And if you're not able or not willing to invest the time to get your head around it yourself, just make sure you understand what it is, that it exists. And what Kat said is, make sure you tell your clients about it. And if you're not able to do it yourself, find a contractor who can do it for you. But just make sure you're on this bandwagon. Don't avoid Facebook Messenger. It's here and it's growing rapidly. What is messenger marketing? As Kat already said, it is more or less the same as email, but still different. Your objective is to build a solid base of subscribers, people who actually subscribe to your list, to your messenger list in this case, and you nurture these people by sending them relevant content, whether it's blog posts, it's videos, it is coupon codes for your e-commerce store, whatever it is. You can use it in your customer service by answering questions, and in the end goal, the end goal should be to convert those people to paying customers, whether it's within a few days or could even within 6 months. You can use the list, just like email, to nurture the people in order to build a relationship with them, get their trust, and eventually earn the right to sell to them. It's almost the same as email marketing, but it's a little bit different. Same, but different. It works differently than email. What I said in the beginning, what Kat said as well, if you just use your email copy in your messenger, it probably doesn't work. You need to look at Messenger as a conversational, almost living thing. People are using Messenger and they expect a conversation, and that's something different compared to email. The other big difference compared to email is you will most likely see higher engagement, open, and click rates. We see open rates from 50, 60, 70 to 80%, and click rates anywhere between 30 and 50%. I'm not sure about you guys, but have you seen open and click rates from your email campaigns above 50, 60%? Anybody out there? Hello?
Never.
Nobody? Nothing?
No.
No, and I can show you some stats in a little bit. That is, it's actually working, and it's pretty easy to set up as well. The only thing is you just need some time, and need to take the time to get your head around it and understand how it works, and just do it. The most coolest thing, what I think about messenger apps and messenger marketing, it has almost no friction. It's so easy for people to sign up. It's literally one click on a button, just one click. Can you imagine how we used to grow our email lists with, even before lead ads? I mean, lead ads is pretty cool as well, but we used to create landing pages with forms with your first name, last name, email address. Somebody had to fill the form, go to receive a opt-in email, click on the opt-in email before you were even allowed to send them emails. That's gone. It's just not there anymore. You can completely forget about that and have people sign up with one click of a button. Easy as that. Just one click, they're subscribed to your bot, and Facebook pulls in their first name and their last name. You don't get their email address, but we got some tricks for that. And last but not least, messenger apps are far more personal than email. Can you imagine doing customer support through email? I mean, it still happens and still happens a lot, but the other day I had an issue with one of the tools we were working with. And before I got a reply from these guys, it took about 24 hours. And there was another tool I needed some help with, and they had a messenger app on their website, and it was just instantly. It was instant back and forth communication. It was awesome. So all these things together, in my opinion, make messenger marketing pretty awesome, and definitely something you have to take into account. Email marketing is still there. It still works. And if you combine it with messenger marketing, you're setting yourself up for success. There we go. Oh yeah, so here it is. Statistia stats from 2016 overall in the United States, that the open rates for email were anywhere between 5.9 and 18.8%, which is okay. But if you then look at the click-through rates within those sent emails, anywhere between 0.4 and 0.2%, which is, yeah, I don't know, probably, I don't know, it's just not good. I mean, what can we say about this? Especially now when we have a good, when we can use messenger marketing in combination with our email marketing, we are pretty sure we can get higher click-through rates and better open rates. The thing is, we just get too many emails. I mean, on a regular day, I maybe get 30, 40 emails. I don't even look at them anymore on a daily basis. If you compare that to messenger marketing, in messenger marketing, we see open rates from 80+% and click-through rates between 30 and 60%, which is pretty awesome. And when you look at messenger, people are just much more likely to open and click on a messaging app than they are with email, especially if you build some fun or at least some interaction in the messenger app. You can use your emoticons, you can use a GIF, you can ask some questions, give some answers. You can just make it authentic and have a real conversation in there.
So can I ask a question? Who here on this call right now has rolled out or has attempted to build a bot for a client?
I have.
Yeah. Did it go well or it didn't go well or? Poor.
Yeah, mine went really well.
Is that Justin?
Yes, we read it. There was a coffee shop, and we set up a we're doing something for subscriptions, and basically we set up the bot to monitor the comments to watch out for basically anyone saying that they wanted a free bag of coffee. And we were launching it, getting ready to test it, and we had people coming in just commenting like crazy before we even were able to really launch it. We were just in the testing phase, and all of a sudden we had to scramble to get it going how we wanted it to go because they're responding so quickly.
Wow. So you're giving away a free bag of coffee. So this was a coffee brand or a coffee shop?
Yeah, it's a coffee brand. And the idea was to create to get them to test the coffee and then follow up with a sequence for selling subscriptions.
Okay, awesome.
So there was a 4-ounce bag of coffee, yeah.
Yeah. Karen, what did you do with your sculpture and your yoga studio? What was the approach there?
Both of them were opting in either for a voucher or for, with the yoga studio, a few free classes.
And was it converting on the back of it?
Yeah, it converted really well on the back of it. Like Rutger said, really high click-through rates on the options that you can put into your bot. And then once they got into the studio, they also converted to clients really well. So we were getting opt-ins at about 76 cents per.
Okay.
Right.
Wow. So
Yeah, I think
a lot of comments as well about people not understanding the tech. And Ahmed, you shared one. I'm actually looking at it right now. That's awesome. So what were you going to say, Rutger?
No, what Karen said is you have so many options in as soon as you have somebody in a messenger flow, you have so many options to validate them, to answer all their questions, and add value in a more quick and efficient manner than in email. That is easier, quote unquote, easier to convert people as well. Because if you would send, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 emails a week to that, you would have to send 4 or 5 emails per week to that specific person. And you can do the same with maybe 5 or 6 messenger messages in 2 or 3 days to that specific person. And then those 6 messenger messages are not as annoying as sending 5 emails. That makes any sense. You can ask questions, you can have links, you can do a little quiz in there, and you can do your whole gamification thing, and people are just enjoying it because it's different and it's more natural than it is with email these days.
Yeah. So just wary of time, Rutger, should we kick right into building the bot?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do this.
So someone mentioned here you need specialists or special tech, is that what Karen said? Specialist tech to do it well. So This is using Manychat, guys. So this is pretty accessible software. It's my preferred tool as well. And so Rutger's going to take us through the back end of how we build one of these bots.
Yes, cool. So I'm not sure what is meant with if you want to do it good. Just let us know what do you think is a good bot versus a non-good bot and where you need to tag for. There are different options out there, but I'm pretty confident that Manychat these days can do everything you want to do.
I personally, from my end, the things that I would look at as a Facebook marketer or a client, I would look at, okay, the conversational piece, right? Is it going to feel, because someone mentioned here, and I totally agree, Messenger is a very personal space. And so we don't want to come across as abrasive in this highly intimate space. Correct. So can we create a bot where we have that personal feel, that intimate feel to it? The second thing I think would be, I'm always thinking about how the fuck do I retarget? Yeah. Right? And I'm going, I love the idea of a bot, but I'm addicted to retargeting because of my Facebook marketing ways. And that frustrates me. So it's like, what is the workaround for that? And then the third thing was a very important thing that just slipped my mind. No, the third thing I think that I would be concerned about is front-end stats are amazing, and I agree with those. Do they convert in the back? Or is this like a lead ad where front-end stats on the lead ads actually are very, very good, but it's hard to get a lead ad? So this is what I would be thinking as in terms of a good bot versus a shitty bot. It's converting.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. But that doesn't necessarily have something to do with the tech, building a bot that works or converts.
Yeah, like the conversation is more the creative. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so let's get started. So for those who aren't familiar with Manychat, I just want to do a two-minute walkthrough. Let me remove this. 2-minute walkthrough through the backend. So what you see here is your dashboard, and on the dashboard you see the people who have subscribed to your bot actually in real time, in real life. On the right hand side, as you can see here, you've got widgets, tags, and sequences. The tags are pretty important, and we're going to walk through the tags as well, because tags give you the option, just like in any email service provider, give you the option to segment people and send them specific content based on actions they took before. So this is a pretty important thing here. For now, looking at the time, I just want to jump in and let's build something cool. I created a Facebook page, and what Kat already mentioned is what we're going to do today is build the bot that triggers based on a comment. So what happens is we can create a page post, and that page post, we are going to connect that page post to a growth tool. That's what Manychat calls them, a growth tool that triggers a sequence we are going to build based on the keyword that is entered on the Facebook page. I want to show you the growth tools. So Manychat's got a couple of them, because this is pretty awesome to see. So there are different approaches to this. We're just going to dive into the common growth tool now, but there are different options. If you have a blog and you're into content marketing, have a look at the slide-in option, which you can see here. The slide-in, you wouldn't believe it, but it's a widget that slides in on the blog post where you can add the copy and persuade people to click on the button to subscribe to your bot or download a lead magnet or whatever. Seen great results with that.
I think John Lee Dumas has that on his website if you guys want to check it out.
Yeah, it works. It's awesome. Super easy to implement. Just put a little bit of JavaScript code in the backend, and it works. You just set it up here. You connect it, press play, and it works. It's awesome. The Messenger ref URL is pretty cool tool as well. You can create a URL that is connected, which you can share anywhere. You can share it on your Facebook page. You can share it in your email. You can put it in your email signature. And as soon as somebody clicks on it, your Messenger sequence opens and they are subscribed to your bot. And you got the Facebook comments, which is the one we're going to use now. So what we're going to do is the first thing we need to do to get this working is we need to create a page post. We all know how to create a page post, but let me just create one. And what works well, because people need to understand what they need to do, is use the creative where you already explain what you expect from people. Oh, it didn't work. Just put a bit of copy in here. So we just, so what you can do is when you set up the page post for the common growth tool, a couple ways to do this. You can do it like this. You can just post it to the page without backdating it. But if you have a lively Facebook page with a lot of fans, a lot of engagement, you might want to use a dark post, or you want to schedule it. Because if you post this first, and you need to post it first because you need to post ID to connect it in Manychat. So what I do in this case, I would set up the post, but instead of publishing it, I would schedule it just like this. And you can schedule it any day.
And backdating would do the same, right? Your fans wouldn't.
Exactly.
They wouldn't see it. Yeah.
So in this case, I schedule it just to make sure that nobody sees it before it actually works. You can also use a dark post. That doesn't matter. So I'm going to schedule this so you don't see it, but it actually lives. I'm going back to Manychat, and I'm going to click on the Facebook Common Growth tool. Now, one of the most important things I've learned along the way building these bots is giving them proper names. So you always have the default growth tool number something. Give them proper names as soon as you start. So this is going to be the FATC comments. I'm just going to put the date in here just for now. This will make your life a lot easier. So it's pretty straightforward what we need to do. Just follow the steps. Just follow the steps like Manychat is pointing them out here. So the first, we created a post. Now we need to select the post. And as you see, it will give the post just here. Select it, and now it's connected. Simple as that. Easy does it. We need to confirm. And what I always like to do is I want to track first level comments only, and which means the common growth tool, the bot, will not react or will not trigger based on any replies. So if you get a conversation going on the page post, it will not keep triggering messages. So people are not going to be bombarded with all kinds of messages from Messenger. I would like to send it immediately. So if somebody comments on the post, I want them to receive the message immediately.
So just on that, Rutger, do you, because we're talking about how, I think if you're a big brand and people know that you're using a bot essentially at this stage, but if you're sort of like a more personal brand, one of the things that we did was we delayed the release because it felt almost more organic. It felt like someone was actually responding, and people realize, oh shit, you know, it's not, or they don't think it's a bot. What's been your take on that?
Make sure that people understand to who or what they are talking to. I always, especially in the first messages we send to people, I explain them that I am the bot or the virtual assistant from Cat Howl, or I am the reservations assistant for Palau Dive Adventures, or whatever. I'm a bot. So be careful with me. I may not understand all your questions, but I'm here to help. So that's always the first message, so people understand that they're not talking to a human, but in this case to a bot.
Okay.
And there's always, and that's also the hook for a call to action button, where say, okay, if you have a specific question I'm not able to answer, click here, talk to a human, and I'm going to send this message to whatever, my reservations team or Cat or whoever, and they're going to get back to you ASAP or even within 24 hours or something similar.
Okay. Susie's asking if you don't have existing customers. So you can actually run this through a post-engagement campaign.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so you put
I've
ad
got a
spend
couple running
behind it.
right now. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely use page post engagement, and then track, customize your columns and track the number of comments you get in there and compare them to the actual signups, and then you got your conversion rate there. So next thing you want to do is, so in the copy, the important thing is, so what you want to do is you want to explain people what they need to do. In this case, I used the word discount in caps, and I used it in the creative as well. I now see there's one is in caps and the one's not in caps, so that doesn't really matter. But make it double clear for people what you expect from them. So you want them to comment a specific keyword in the comments. Ask them and repeat it, because not everybody understands, especially in the first hours of the ad, when there's no engagement or when there's no comments on it. Some people just don't understand. So make sure it's a easy to understand keyword. It's easy. It's quick to type. It's just short and sweet. And then,
does it make a difference, Rutger, if they comment in lowercase or caps lock?
Yeah, it does. So you need to make sure. What I always do is add different variations of the keyword. So in the third column here, you type in the keyword. So you tell Manychat on which keyword this actually should trigger. So what I always do is I do it in caps and in non-caps like this. That's why you need to keep it short and sweet. I think thinking about this, it's now set up and done, but the word discount is maybe even too long. You could even have something like yes or no or whatever. So make sure that you use short and sweet keywords, and make sure you put the variations in there that are possible, people could possibly put in. And then click next. Now, this is the tricky thing. Well, it's not necessarily tricky, but something you need to keep in mind is there is some kind of a double opt-in using bot sequence or messenger sequence. So what happens next? I'm going to go back. Somebody, when this post is published, somebody reads it, somebody comments discount with caps or no caps, whatever. And as soon as they comment the keyword that is connected to this bot sequence, they will get a message within their messenger. They need to reply to that message before they're actually signed up for your bot and the sequence can start. So they always need to have they need to take an action in the form of a comment, or sometimes, depending on the growth tool you use, they can tap a button. But in this case, they have to reply with something. So what I like to do is say, hey, Kat, please type the words, say hi Kat, I need to verify you are a human. Please type the word human below and we can get started. keep in mind, if they don't type the word human, or in this case, they don't reply to your message, you can ask anything here. This is not keyword related. This is just that they need to reply to something. They need to enter some data, some text.
It's like Bumble.
What's Bumble?
It's like Tinder.
Oh.
If they don't reply, it disappears.
Yeah, well, so what happens if people don't reply to this? You will see these as anonymous users in the backend. So if people will not be subscribed to your bot. You will not be able to send any broadcasts to them. You will not be able to reach out to them. Nothing. They are like ghost subscribers that are not doing anything for you. So this is an important one. You can test this as well. If you see a lot of anonymous subscribers, it means people are not answering the question or not prompting or not entering any data to get subscribed to your bot. So any question, test different questions. What is your favorite, whatever, what is your favorite animal, whatever, anything, just think about something. This always worked good for us. Need to verify you're human, please type the word human below, we can get started. So as soon as that is done, you can click on next, and now you got to be careful, and it's sent only to users who reply with, oh, sorry, this is the word human.
So Julia's asking a great question. You know how Messenger has like a spam inbox or a filtered inbox? Do you know the stats, or do you know not the stats, but what do these messages sometimes end up in the filtered inbox?
I don't know. Good question. Don't know. I haven't seen any of our messages, just our messages. So people messaging us. Haven't heard it. Don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, Julia, just purely based off the open rates, I would say no. Yeah, I'd say it definitely Facebook understands that there's been a trigger through an API, through Manychat, and it sends it to the real inbox. Yeah.
The thing is, I haven't heard anything about spam yet. Interesting one. We'll write it down. I'm going to do some research on that. You got a big notification here as well. Just to be aware of this, Facebook, I'm just going to quote this, Facebook carefully controls the usage of this feature, the common growth tool feature that is. To protect your page from blocking on Messenger, Manychat limits the auto response rate per minute. This means that popular pages may experience longer delivery times for later auto responses if there was a big influx of comments. Now, the common growth tool is a pretty awesome thing. There are some cons to it. One con is it doesn't work all the time. Manychat is glitchy, just like Power Editor is or Ads Manager is. So sometimes it happens, the common growth tool just doesn't work. I mean, if you go to the Facebook page of Manychat, just type in common growth tool in the search, and you will see tons of threads about people going crazy because it didn't work. That happens, and be ready for it's not working. If it doesn't work, the best thing you can do is go into Manychat, go to the backend, click the help thingy here, and click on refresh permissions. And the refresh permissions is something like refreshing your cache or throwing your cache away, whatever, just refreshing your page, and it will reconnect your page with Manychat and then try again. That often helps. Sometimes they're working on the platform, it's glitchy, it's not working. Be prepared. That happens. The other thing about the common growth tool you need to keep in mind is when somebody on your page shares the post that is connected to your comment growth tool and they share it to their own timeline, the comment feature, the trigger feature will not work. So if somebody shares it and somebody comments whatever, the keyword on the shared post, the comment growth tool will not trigger any messages. That's the only thing I don't like about the comment growth tool. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands that.
Right. So there's no point in getting incentivizing sharing.
Nope.
Not that you're really supposed to be doing that anyways, especially if it's like competitions. But there's no point trying to incentivize sharing because the bot is not going to be triggered when it's organically shared and commented on by one of those peers. It has to be the original post. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So if you want to leverage the share, you probably use the JSON growth tool, which doesn't work based on a comment, but it works on a click. But that will definitely work when it's shared. And it seems that the JSON growth tool is more stable as well versus the comment growth tool. But for now,
I'm just seeing a couple of people commenting around the misspelling human. Just to be super clear, guys, the autoresponder that Rutger just built here, which is the please verify you're a human, by saying human, it actually doesn't matter what they respond with. They could respond with an exclamation mark. We don't actually care if they spell it right or not. We're just trying to get them to respond. As soon as they respond, it puts them into the sequence.
correct.
So you're just trying to trigger some kind of response from them, some kind of like anything. The only comment that matters where it's spelled correctly is on the original Facebook post. That has to be spelled properly to trigger Manychat. But on this autoresponder, it actually doesn't matter if they spell human incorrectly or if they don't have quotations or if they just respond with an emoji. That works. It will trigger them. It will send them into the sequence. It will opt them in. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then the third step and the third tab, if you want to, the opt-in actions, you can actually configure how you want the opt-in message to be sent or how the opt-in message to work. Send to everyone who replies. So you need somebody to reply here, whether it's human or hello or whatever, and we can get started. And then we just tell Manychat send to everyone who replies. Now, oh, sorry, just something happened here on my screen. Now, when that is done, we want to configure, no, I just want to save this. We want to configure the opt-in message. In this case, what we're doing is, so what you see here on the screen is a default opt-in message, but we need to keep in mind what the steps before were. So somebody was on our Facebook page, or they saw our post on their timeline, and we asked them to comment. And when they comment, they will get discount codes or whatever we're gonna tell them, whatever we promised them, we're gonna deliver them.
Show people how you got to this screen again, Rutger? Sorry. So we were in the bot. Yeah.
Opt-in actions. So, and then we click edit here.
Okay.
I'm not going to go into replace. We're just going to go to edit, which you got a little breadcrumb above here. So you can go back here. You got your opt-in actions, and this is your opt-in message. And what you want to do is you want to edit the message that people see as soon as they opt in.
So this is after someone says, yes, I'm a human.
Exactly.
Basically. Or whatever they type in.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So Manychat just released, I think it was a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago already, they released something pretty awesome, which is the flow builder. And I'm not sure if it is available in all accounts, but it makes your life a lot easier. So this is your basic builder, but with the flow builder, believe it or not, you can build a whole flow. Which makes it more visual and easier to understand where you're going. Now, besides
Like
giving,
a lucid chart for
yeah,
many.
exactly. But this works much easier than lucid chart.
Ooh.
It's,
Ooh.
I'll show you.
Expectations.
No, it's the same. Another key takeaway from this is, if you take anything away from this, is give your growth tools and your tags and your messages, whatever, give them proper names so you can find them back after you build a couple bots, but also map out your bot before you start building it. I mean, it's so much easier. Just pen and paper, whiteboard, whatever, just draw. So you know where you want the bot to go. Because if you start in the flow builder or in the basic builder not knowing where you want to go, it's going to be messy real quick. So just map it out before you start, and then whatever you mapped out, build it here in Manychat. That will make your life a lot easier. So one step back. Opt-in actions. We want to edit the message, the first message you want to send to people as soon as they opted in. And you just can click on it. And as soon as you click on the starting step, as you see here, you're going to see on the left-hand side, you'll see a little menu open. And in this menu, this is where the magic happens. So what we want to do is okay, thank you for subscribing. Yeah, what do we want to tell people is,
So I would like, personally, if this was me, I'd be like something like, okay, Santa's sleigh is on his way. Your first discount code is da 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 da. Something cute, something funny, right?
Okay, cool.
Am I doing it right though? I don't know.
Yeah. But the thing is, what the tricky thing here is, from this point on, there are two ways to go. Do we want to ask people? Do we want to push people through without having their email address?
Okay. So you're saying we're going to get them to so now they're subscribed to our bot sequence, but let's get them as an email subscriber as well.
Exactly, because the email address is super important, because email is still alive and kicking. And as soon as you can use email together with messenger marketing, I think you're able to hit home runs. That, and the other thing is, you can use email to match. So you can use the email field. You can use the actual email to find people from your CRM in Manychat. So what I'm trying to say here is, if somebody made a purchase through somebody clicked on a link in Manychat and they went to your shop, or they went to your shop and they made a purchase, and they're going to when they check out using the same email address as they signed up with Manychat, you are able to sync the data from your CRM, the purchase data, back to Manychat, which means you can start pushing people to different sequences based on the purchase behavior they did on your website, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, so I just want to expand on that, because that's actually really important, guys. So first thing, Rutger's saying, like, let's grow your email list, because email is still relevant. And I would even add to that, because you don't own Manychat. And it's dangerous to build an audience exclusively or monopolize an audience on any one platform. Just like, for example, when I lost Ad Hacks a month or two ago, right? When they shut down Ad Hacks. And luckily, I had also built an email list, because I thought, oh my God, like, if this was the only thing I had relied on, I can't, like, Zuckerberg's not going to listen to me, you know? So it's dangerous to monopolize your audience on one platform that you do not own. So it's always a smart idea to build an email list, because you own that. It's an owned audience. Second thing here is that Rutger's saying you can integrate your CRM with Manychat, so you'll be able to funnel people that purchased into different sequences, just like you would with ActiveCampaign or Infusionsoft or any of your email marketing. And in terms of targeting that as well, as long as you are tracking that through your ad. So let's say you've posted that post and you're running a post engagement campaign, putting lots of ad spend behind that post to get lots of traction. As long as at the ad level you have selected track via the pixel, so you have to manually select it because by default it's turned off. So you turn on that toggle at the ad level. As long as that's on, any purchases that resulted from this comment will be tracked inside the ad account as well within 28 days. So just remember that. Cool.
Nice. I don't think we're going to go into how to sync data from your CRM back to Manychat, but we're going to show how to get the user input and how to sync it with the CRM using Zapier. And again, here the crucial thing here is how to set up your question, how to set up your copy to get people to give you their email address. And there are different ways. Again, what worked for us is we want to make is a sentence like, we want to make sure you receive all the goodies we have for you. And it's the same with delivering lead magnets, PDF guides or something. We want to send you our guide through via email too. So please give us your best email address. What didn't work for us was asking the question. It did work, but it didn't work as well as being more aggressive, quote unquote, is asking people, hey, would you like us to send this and that via email too? Click yes or no. What we saw is that approximately 60% of the people said yes and 40% said no. So we missed 40% of the emails. Now, if we don't ask the question and we just prompt it, say, hey, we want to make sure you receive all the goodies we have for you. Please give us your email address. We see approximately 80–90% of people prompt their email address. We want to make sure you receive all the goodies we have for you. Okay, so now a crucial thing here is you need a pro account to enable this feature. Pro account is, I think it's $10 a month. So it doesn't break the bank, but it enables you to use all the features Manychat currently has. If you don't have a pro account, this will not work. So what you want to do is ask the question, hey, can I please have your email address? We want to, and then you use, I'm sorry, I'm not sure if everybody saw that. Oh, let me go back. There is a card or a thumbnail actually below here that says user input. As soon as you click on user input, now you got two. As soon as you click on user input, you get this field. And in this field, you can ask the specific question. We want to make sure you receive all the goodies we have for you. And then in the second message people get is, please type your best email below so we can send. Please type your best email below, period. Now, one thing I recently started using, and that's what Kat mentioned as well, is have a delay between messages. So what you want to do is probably put a delay in between here. And again here, you got a little thumbnail that says delay. If you click on it, it will prompt a field like this. And when you click on the field, you can give a delay time. I often use, depending on the length of the message and how long I think people need to read the message before I send the second message or the follow-up message, I select anything between 3 and 5 seconds. So in this case, it's a fairly short message, sentence lay is on its way, blah, blah, blah. So I gave him 3 seconds before I prompt the second message. In this case, the question, please type your best email below.
And it shows it as typing, you know, when
exactly.
someone's typing a message to you and you can see the dots. So people are hanging around going, oh, there's something else being typed.
Something is happening. There's really somebody out there. Yeah, you can select it or you can enable it or disable it with this checkbox here. So please type your best email below. And what happens here is you need to select what type of user input you are expecting. In this case, we are expecting an email address. And why you want to select this? Because it will validate the email address. So if somebody forgets the dot between anywhere, like gmail.com, when they say gmail.com or something, it will prompt them an error message, and it will ask them to re-enter a correct email address. And that's pretty neat if you see how that works. So make sure that you configure the reply type. In this case, we ask for an email. I always skip the next button. So yeah, I skip the skip button because that gives people the opportunity not to enter the email address. And you need to think about this for yourself. I mean, if somebody, in this case, I would not follow through with the flow if somebody doesn't prompt their email address. So that means it comes to a grinding halt. Nothing happens when people do not complete their email address or fill in their email address. And that's something everybody needs to figure out for themselves. Is that something you wanna follow through with, or maybe you don't care too much about email addresses and you wanna push people through anyway? I like to work with this because I just want to build my email list. Just what Kat said is I own email lists, and I can use email lists as well to build custom audiences and use those people again in my top of funnel. Now, the email address will be stored in the custom fields in Manychat, and the custom fields are just as important to name properly because you need to find you need to select the custom field at some point in Zapier to connect them between the two services. So I created one already, and I called this 12 days email input. It doesn't really matter what kind of name you give it, just come up with the naming convention you understand and you remember in 2, 3, 4, whatever, 10 weeks from now, even if you have 50 or 60 custom fields. That will make your life a lot easier. What we want to do on successful input, in this case, let's do it a little bit different. Let's give them a reply. Let's say they gave their email address. Oh, that's the wrong one. I want to say, thank you. And this is, well, no, this is a trick not too many people know, is thank you. We will send, with T, isn't it? We will send,
D.
Sorry. We will send the info to, and then you got good old merge tags here. So you can select, you can repeat, you can echo the email address people entered. Click, there you go. So this will say, thank you. We will send the info to rucker@gmail.com. And there's just an extra validation layer there.
So someone's asking, can we do this? Can we use this? So we're still basically in, we've got our Facebook post that was posted. We've prompted a comment. Someone's commented. We have an autoresponder trying to get them to opt in by just responding to us. They've done that, and this is basically the follow-up opt-in message. So once they've opted in. So we're still in that space now. Someone said, can we use, instead of asking for an email, can we grow our Facebook group with this? So Marjorie, the only difference here would be that you would be sending them to a link. You'd basically be saying to them, click on here to join this Facebook group, and you'll see the content pinned to the top or whatever, you know? Yeah. You might want to have like some reason for them to join that group. What I said when I was growing ad hacks was that I would say something like, in the meantime, please connect with myself, or like, in the meantime, connect with myself and thousands of other Facebook marketers and agency owners for more hacks, tips, and tricks. And that worked really well, that simple message there. You can't track that, so that's the only thing, right? You can't, like with email, if they don't type it in right or they don't do it, you're not really, you can't track people joining a group, basically. Yeah.
No, the only thing what you could do in Manychat, but is you can create a tag based on an action. And if somebody clicks on a button where the link to the group is connected, you can track that specific click by adding a tag when somebody clicks on it. But that's only a click. That's not a landing page view or anything, or a join.
Cool. So now we've got someone that has given us their email, and we're in the flow builder at the moment. And so the next step is to really do your tagging and your sequences.
Correct. So what we're going to do is we got that email address now, and what we want to do is we want to trigger a zap. We want to push that. We want to push that email address.
Oh, how did you get to that? Sorry, I missed that.
I'm sorry. Let me go. Let me remove this. So somebody entered their email address. And as soon as somebody entered their email address, we're going to give them a message. Thank you. We will send the info, or we received this and that email address for you based on the merge tag. Now, next thing we want to do is that email address now is stored in Manychat. But we want, at some point, we want that email address, we want to have that in our email service provider, whether it's MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or whatever it is. We need to send it from Manychat via Zapier to our email service provider. So what we need to do is we need to trigger a zap. So I'm gonna take this away, and on the right-hand side, you can create an action. And then what we can do is we can connect the action. There we go. Isn't that awesome? That's pretty cool,
Nice.
isn't it? There we go. It just connected from one to the other. And as soon as you click it, you will be prompted a button. And as soon as you click the button, you can select different actions. And in this case, you want to trigger a zap. And then we want to give the zap a name, and that's it. There we go. But now what we need to do is we need to go to Zapier. Oh. Let me go here. I'm not sure why it's not working now. Maybe do a little bit different. Love it.
But what are you trying to do? Trigger Zapier.
Go in here. Okay, so we connect the zap now. So what we're going to do is, I want to go to Zapier. Do you want to go into Zapier, Kat? Do we got time for that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Cool. So before you can select, oh, let me go back here. Before you can select trigger zap in the actions here, this one, trigger zap, you need to connect the Manychat account in Zapier. I already did that. But you need to be aware of that. So you need to go to Zapier and then make a zap first. So how shall we do this? Okay, creating a zap in Zapier. It's pretty straightforward. So what we want to do is we have the email address from a subscriber in one of our custom fields. So what we want to do is first we select Manychat because we want to move data from Manychat to, in this case, ActiveCampaign. And we need to understand that the email address is stored in what is called custom field. So in this case, we select trigger when an updated selected custom field on a user. Select when a custom field on the user is updated. And this is within Manychat because we stored the email address in a custom field in Manychat. So this is the choice, the first trigger, the first step in the trigger we select. Click continue. And then this is where you can connect an account. And you just select your Manychat account here. And if you didn't do this before, you are not able to select trigger a zap in Manychat. So if you haven't connected before, first do this, and then you can connect the zap in Manychat. And then you got it connected. So this is the Manychat Big Bots account. And this is the custom field, and this is where your naming convention comes in. Now we only have one custom field in here, but imagine if you have 50, 60 custom fields for different clients, it's going to be tricky to find the right one. So this is going to save you time, and this is why you just need to have your naming conventions, at least so you understand them. So you select the custom field you want to sync or push, however you want to call it, from Manychat to your email subscriber, email service provider. We're going to check the custom fields. So this is the email address that is stored and will be pushed to plus my first name and my last name. Now, the first trigger in the zap is set up. Now I want to make sure it's going to be sent to the email service provider, in this case, ActiveCampaign. So what I'm going to do is you can choose anything where you want to, you can even push it to Google Sheets, you can push to Slack, Gmail, ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, anything you want. So in this case, we work with ActiveCampaign. And what we want to do is we want to create a new contact or update an existing contact. And it's a new contact because we don't have the person in there yet. So select that one. That's my account. And again, before you do this, you have to make sure that you have a list where you want to push the people into. In this case, we're going to push or sync the people in the FATC bot sequence. You can see there are many, well, not that many, but you got different lists here. But I choose the FATC bot sequence list. I choose the value for the email address, the first name, and it works pretty straightforward. First name, oh, that's enough. And this is actually all the data I just want to sync in there. Click continue.
Is this making sense, guys? Or does anyone want to speak out or have any questions? Everyone's pretty much used Zapier here, right? Yeah. Great.
Double email address. Just saw that there. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. This is, and then test successful. Awesome. So what happens now is, see it on my dashboard. Yeah. Cool. So this should work. So what happens now? What we just did, let me go back to here. What we just did is as soon as somebody opts in, we ask for the email address. And as soon as they give us their email address, we sync that email address to Manychat. Sorry, to our email service provider using Zapier. And that should trigger an email to that specific person based, depending on how you configured it, how you configured your email flow. Mm-hmm. So this is pretty straightforward so far. Are there any questions so far we need to address?
Hey, Rutger, I actually had a question.
Anand.
Hey there. Am I popping up?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because I know my mic gets weird. I was actually wondering, would you advise having the Manychat bots built on your Manychat account or on the client's Manychat account, and then they give you access to it?
Personally, I would do it on the client's Manychat account for the simple reason, it's easier. I mean, it's easy for the simple reason. Long story short, it's easier. They can give you access by making you an admin. You can just log in, and as you can see here, you will get an overview of all the accounts you're working on, and you can select them and you can work in there if necessary. So it's easier. The client has 24/7 access, and you too. And if you, for some reason, don't work with the client anymore, they just take you off as an admin.
Anand, it's the same exact thing as building funnels, right?
Yeah.
So if you're building it under something that you own, then it's essentially a leased funnel. You're leasing that funnel to them, so it's a different pricing structure. If you are building it in theirs, the fee that you're charging them is that they're paying you for their IP. And so they should own it, right? They should own whatever you build for them because they've paid you for that IP, for that setup. So if they're paying you for that, then it should be done in their account, because if you part ways, it's theirs. They've paid you for it. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah,
you got it.
Cool. So what we want to do now is as soon as somebody gave us their email address, as soon as somebody gave us their email address, that's for us to trigger. We want to subscribe them to a specific sequence, and in this case, the sequence is the first message we want to send people after they qualified themselves. And this is something we can do in here as well in the action group. So in the same action group, we can trigger the zap, and we can subscribe somebody to a sequence. We just tap sequence. I'm not sure if everybody saw that, but I'm going to go back. Action, subscribe to sequence, and then we can select a sequence. In this case, I'm not sure. Yeah, probably would have been, in this case, you can see I can select the sequence Common Growth Tool, CGT, Common Growth Tool sequence 12 days off. I created this already. If you start from scratch, you can choose a default sequence, which you can then optimize or can alter to whatever you want. So you will always have the opportunity to select one. In this case, I created one already, and I can select it here. So what we're doing now is we are just telling Manychat that if somebody subscribes and gave us their email address, on the successful input of their email address, we want to send that email address to our email service provider, and we want to subscribe those people to the specific sequence.
He's going to show us how to create the sequence now, Allison.
Exactly. That's what I'm going to do now. So this is actually the first step. And as soon as people went through this step, we go to the sequence, and you will find the sequence under the automation tab in the left-hand side of the sidebar. And there you go. You got your sequences. So on the left-hand side of the sidebar, you have a tab called automation. And within the automation, you got different submenus, and then below you find sequences. And you can click on the blue button. It says create new sequence. So what we're going to do is, this is the 12-day messenger sequence FATC. Just like that. And as soon as you create a sequence, you will see this field. This is the default Manychat view of a sequence. And as you can see, you can toggle it active and deactivate it, and you can select when the message should be sent. You can send it immediately after somebody subscribed, minutes, hours, days, whatever. And you can send it even depending on time zones, if I'm correct. Oh, that's the broadcasting you can send in time zones. So this is pretty cool. Just go through this when you configure it. And what I like to do is I just want to make sure I send it, let's say 1 minute after somebody subscribes. So somebody gave us their email address. As soon as somebody prompted the email address, they get another message that confirms the email address they got. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that the sequence is triggered not at the same time as they got the last message, if that makes any sense, because sometimes it just goes sideways and they get this message before they get the opt-in message, and that becomes messy real quick. So what we can do is I just told Manychat I want to.
Yeah, so guys, a sequence is basically just like an email automated workflow.
Yeah.
Just like, what's the term in email marketing? Yeah, automated workflow, I guess you would call it.
Automation.
Yeah, an automated list or an automated campaign. So it's like, you know, someone registered for a webinar and then you have a 6-part follow-up or whatever. Those are automated sequences in your email marketing. A sequence in Manychat is the same thing. So it's going to prompt conversation with this user or send them, send them messages based on specific timeframes from when they subscribe, which is when you triggered the zap in that last part of that opt-in message. Yeah,
exactly. So and still the big question is, and that's something everybody has to decide for themselves, is in this case how we are setting this up is somebody will not follow through to this sequence if they did not give their email address. That's not mandatory. That's just a strategic decision we take when we set this up, because we want their email addresses for obvious reasons. If you think you could do without an email address, perfect, no problem. That's just as good. But then you can skip the Zapier step. Don't ask for the email address, and then you can prompt people directly to the sequence.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's the choice everybody has to make for themselves.
So Rutger, just looking at time, what I'd like to do is just quickly powwow some ideas around sequences or approaches. Because I think the sequence part is pretty self-explanatory, guys. It's like you tell it how far out you want it to be sent. And in fact, Manychat has a default based on what they have seen converts the best or works the best. So if you're not sure, use that as your default to begin with. And then I'd also like to cover tagging, if possible, to show people how that's done. And then we can open the floor and have a discussion around different industries and niches. So in terms of, so we're in one of the sequences right now, is that right?
Yeah, so just gonna make this a quick one. So what we're gonna do is we want to send the first actual message after somebody completed the full flow of subscribing. They gave us their email address and everything. So what we wanna do is we're gonna say, hey, Kat, and then we can use those merge tags here when you press the little person icon, whatever it is. Say, hey, first name, whatever your name is. And on the right-hand side, you can see the actual what you see is what you get editor. So, hey, Rutger in this case, here, are you ready? Are you ready for your first surprise gift or surprise for your first discount code? Now, what I would like to do is add a reply in there. For the simple reason is you keep it engaged. So if you say yes, for sure, yes, show me, then you can choose. I'm not sure if you can see. So you can have the quick reply, and the quick reply is a button that people can click, but as soon as somebody clicks it, they are not able to go back. You can put a button here. You can add 3 buttons below, and those buttons will be visible for people all the time. So they can click button 1, 2, 3 in any different order. If somebody clicks a quick reply, they made their choice and they are moving forward. Now you can configure the quick reply by clicking on it and then sending them a message. So in this case, are you ready for your discount? Yes, I am. So the message here is, here is your discount, or your discount code is Christmas 30. And if I want to tag people, so I want to tag people, for example, who clicked on this button, I can add the action here. Maybe I'm moving too fast here. Just let me know. I'll go one step back. We have the quick reply button. And if you click on the little arrow, you go to the message that is connected. And if you click on the text field, you can see a little menu open. And as soon as you click on the text field, the menu opens and you can add the additional actions. You can choose when this button is pressed, I want to send a message. And I want to know how many people or which people clicked on the show me button, and I want to add a tag to those people. So I enter a tag. I add a tag, but I need to give the tag a name. So what I do is, in this case, I always use clicked because that's the action they took. And then I use what did they click. So they clicked show me. Save it and done. Oh, and done. Does that make sense?
So where do you go to see the tagged people inside of Manychat, like the data around that?
Okay, I'm going to show you here. I'm going to just make sure they're going to publish this as it is saved. So this is your discount code. Christmas 30. Now I'm going to go here. Let's go show you a different one. We got some tags in there. When you go to your audience dashboard, well, this is an interesting one of an unknown subscriber. On the right-hand side, you go to your audience dashboard, and this is where you see all the tags you created, and the people that are connected, that have those tags connected. And what you can do is you can create a search or filter with people who have specific tags. So in this case, I want to filter all the people who downloaded a lead magnet through the JSON, ad we created.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
And then if I want to send a broadcast message to these people, I go to broadcasting, click the big blue button. This is a broadcast.
Okay, I have a question, Rutger.
Yeah.
So I've got this post and I'm putting ad spend behind it, like maybe $1,000 or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting lots of comments and lots of opt-ins and email subscribers. How can I track in my ad account the number of people that have subscribed to my bot? I have to go into Manychat, I guess, and look at that, right?
Yes and no. It depends a little bit. Okay, so I'm opening Ads Manager here. Bear with me. Because I got something running right now. It's coming. So this ad, I just disabled this one this morning because I enabled the growth tools. Is this campaign? This was a campaign with the messenger objective. And like this. Messenger engagement. So what you can see here is that this actual campaign with the JSON growth tool had generated 49 subscribers, messaging conversations. And a messaging conversation are people that messaged your page for the first time and interacted both ways. So they actually replied to messages from the bot. That makes any sense.
So
you can
obviously,
see
if you
here-
posted this to your page or there was any warm audience in there, it wouldn't be the most statistical thing. Yeah.
Not the most statistical thing.
So this is people that message your page for the first time. So if
And
this was,
interacted with your bot.
oh, okay, okay.
So okay, so let me go back here. So this is the JSON ad. So what happens here is this doesn't have anything to do with comments, but these are people, I'm going to show it here. The number of messaging cards that began with people who never messaged with your business before, attributed to your ads. So what happens in this case, somebody clicks on the ad, Messenger is prompted, and they need to take an action to opt in. In this case, they had to push a button to opt in. They got a message and they replied to that message, which makes them a subscriber.
Right. So this is only people that have never messaged with your page before. So what I'm saying is, like, if you were running this ad or this post to a warm audience of existing fans or existing email list, people that potentially have messaged you before, this number wouldn't be
correct,
fully statistical. Or if you
No.
posted that on your Facebook page without backdating it or
correct. And
making it
to make it even more confusing is this number 49 doesn't. I haven't found any campaign that matched 100% with what I found in Manychat.
Okay. So you basically look at your Manychat results, and then you look at your ad spend, and you divide your ad spend by your Manychat subscribers, and that's your cost per Manychat subscriber.
Exactly. So that's the exact number of people you have in Manychat, and that's where the tagging comes in as well, because it's easy to filter the number.
I hope they fix that, because that's really annoying.
It's a tricky thing, and it's more or less the same thing I had issues with tracking view contents with was it DPA ads, whatever. It was tricky. And when I'm running this ad, this is the new one. This is the common growth tool, but it doesn't. This is page post engagement. So messenger engagement doesn't do anything. So I need to go to engagement here. It didn't run, so I'm going to do it for today. And this is where I can see the number of post comments. But a comment on the post isn't necessarily a subscriber yet, because somebody comments on the post, assuming they type the right keyword, the bot will trigger the first message. But if they don't reply to that message with the opt-in keyword we just discussed, people will not become a subscriber. But that's nothing we can track here in Ads Manager.
Okay, so with the sequence that that Rutger was showing you, so basically, just as a really fast recap, guys, this is the growth tool is comments. So we're making a post, and you can back it up with ad spend through a post engagement objective campaign. And once someone comments with a specific keyword, it triggers an autoresponder. And the autoresponder, the purpose is just to get them to reply, because as soon as they reply to that, you can basically opt them in. Once they reply, you can have an auto reply automatically to that, and that's where we were showing you the email. So you're asking them for their email. And once they reply to that, you're basically triggering, and you don't have to do the email, just FYI, but you're creating a Zapier integration if you are using email to put them into your CRM. And then you're also creating an action where you're opting them into a Manychat sequence. And we were using the growth builder tool to do this really, really easily. And then once you've done that, you can go and it will allow you to create a default sequence, but you can access your sequences under the automation on the left-hand column there. And then you can edit those sequences. So in this example that we're running with today, we're using a 12 days of Christmas. So your sequence is pretty self-explanatory, to be honest. Day 1, you get this discount. Day 2, you're going to get this discount. Day 3, you're going to get this discount. What you want to do is you want to keep your copy really, really short and informal if you can. And you can also add links. So you can actually also add like buttons that will send them directly to the website or to the specific product page, et cetera, et cetera. If you are opting them into the email sequence, it's a good idea to have emails that reflect that. However, your emails will probably be a lot more fleshed out. They'll be a lot more detailed. You may, if you're working with e-commerce, you'll probably even have like a flash looking email. Now you can add images. Well, not really, right? In Manychat, you can
definitely.
add,
I can images and GIFs and everything.
Sizes, yeah.
Do so as well, because again, it's as you said, it's informal, and try to make it fun. Don't go overboard with it, but everybody enjoys a good GIF.
Yeah.
Or a thumbs up
GIF,
or an emoji or anything. That's easy. And as soon as it's relevant, ask some questions, get the interaction in there, because Facebook has the 24-hour rule, which means you are not allowed. You can, but you shouldn't send any promotional messages, whether it's broadcasting or sequences, after 24 hours after somebody last interacted with your sequence or bot.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as it makes sense, get the interaction in there, whether it's do you want to see the next post, or do you want to get your discount, and have them click on a link or a button or a quick reply, anything, so you get the you keep the engagement, so you are eligible to send promotional emails or promotional broadcasts as well.
Mm-hmm. Shenda's asking, can you zap the tags to the CRM?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, you can connect the tag you use in the CRM. You can connect that tag in the tag field in Zapier, and it pushes it with you. It pushes it to your CRM.
Yeah, so you could create a list or a specific sequence in ActiveCampaign of people that have clicked on specific product links or specific discount codes, so that you know, ooh, this person was interested in baubles, or they were interested in men's underwear as a gift or whatever, you know? And so you can start to message them specifically based on those actions that they've taken, what interested them.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the awesome things you can do, especially when you start your relationship with your subscribers in Manychat, and one of the examples we see a lot in e-commerce is when you create a carousel. Let me show you a quick one. You can create a card like this. Let's say I am asking people, what kind of products do you like? Well, I'm interested in watches. So you can say, we sell awesome watches. Do you like watches? And then you can create.
This would be so cool for gamification, right? So if you're selling physical product, like what's more your style? What's your personality? Which image do you find funnier? Or which image appeals to you the best? A or B? They click B. Okay, great. Are you more down to earth, or you da-da-da? I'm this one. Okay, well, this is the watch for you based on what you answered. Here's the discount code, or here's the link, right? So you can create some really cool gamification style. And I think that's where the flow builder comes in handy, because that can get really, it's like when you're building canvas ad gamification, it's like, woof, your mind explodes trying to like map it out without writing it out. So you can map all of that out with your flow builder. Yeah.
Exactly. Flow Builder is super awesome, but still, Flow Builder is awesome. But piece of advice is, when you start building the bot, just sketch it out before you start in the Flow Builder, because when you sketched it out, you know where you want to go, and when you know where you want to go with the bot, when you know which branches you want to create, it will be so much easier to do so in the flow builder if you have thought it through beforehand.
So let's have a fireside chat. So you guys can unmute yourself, and let's just have like a fireside chat of ideas of different verticals and different niches that this could work with, especially around this time of the year. So we've obviously been focusing a little bit on the e-commerce side here a little bit. So just to flesh that out a little bit, if anyone's working in e-commerce, if you have any ideas or you have run chatbots before, what worked, what do you think wouldn't work? What do you think are some implications to think about, et cetera, et cetera? So is there anyone here that has any insights or feedback to share?
Yeah, I was thinking about something where regarding purchases, people who have recently purchased, I've been trying to figure out a way to get them re-engaged with me, and just kind of been playing with different CRM and email sequences. But I like the idea of this because if I set up like a PPE campaign targeting people who purchased in the last, I don't know, 10 days or something, I can make it to where I almost gamify, and it's like, kind of like, I don't know, I love what you said, is this your style, but I could figure out a way to get them involved and get them answering questions to where then I give them another offer and be like, thanks for playing, and here's 10%, and try to get them right back to the store.
Yeah, so a reactivation campaign. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing you would need for that is you need to have their email address in Manychat, because as soon as somebody bought and you have that information in your CRM system, you can sync that back to Manychat, and then you can subscribe them to a specific sequence, which you can use to target people who bought before. So you don't have to go through the ad route. You just can target them within Manychat immediately and say, hey, here's a 15% discount if you buy a second item or a second purchase in the next 7 days.
That is awesome. Cool.
So you need to have them in Manychat before that. And another trick you could do as well is, if you're working with purchase receipts or anything, you can have them on the thank you page of your website. Prompt them, ask them, hey, would you like me to send this receipt through Messenger as well? When they click yes, bang, you got them.
Yeah, that's where I'm at now. I've just stacked a ton of people that have subscribed, and as of yet, I've had no idea what to do with them. So the timing on this was perfect.
Cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
Arthur said prompting reviews. That's a great one. So testimonials, reviews. Ideally, you want to use like an app like Yotpo for that type of stuff, because Yotpo will automatically display that on your website. And it will also allow you to run ads, dynamic ad creatives with those testimonials, those reviews. So yeah, great idea. If you've ever done, just going back to the gamification with Canvas ads, the big difference between a Canvas ad and using the bot is that the Canvas ad, you can retarget people that open the Canvas ad, but you're not really building a subscriber list. So I guess the big difference here is that you could run the same gamification that you could with a Canvas ad, except now you've got people opted into a sequence that you can continue to communicate with without having to spend on retargeting dollars, et cetera, et cetera. Very high open rates. So you want to keep it fun. You want to keep it short. You want to keep it playful. You want to personalize it where you can. So use your tags as well. Yotpo, yeah. What are some other ideas for e-commerce, just while we're wrapping e-commerce up? Does anyone else have any insights or feedback?
Hello. Hi.
Hey, who's this?
It's Larissa.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. Hi from Costa Rica.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've been doing with Manychat, and I just did a campaign 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago for a small boutique hotel here. And this isn't e-commerce, but it might give everybody some ideas. So what I did was, because they had like a really dead Facebook page. So I ran using the growth tool with a Facebook comment and said, drop an emoji. And we did a giveaway of a romantic weekend for 2 with a romantic dinner. And so as soon as they dropped in the emoji, that got them right into the subscriber sequence. And it thanked them very much. I had a little GIF. And we were also promoting the hotel for weddings. So at that point, we asked them, oh, and while you're here, would you be interested in our information about weddings? If they said yes, they'd get a 14-page PDF that they would instantly download.
Wow.
Yeah. So, because think about it. We got 1,200 new likes and 635 subscribers in 1 week with an ad spend of $20. Like a boost.
What?
Yeah. Because I did.
Because it was like emojis.
Well, I also did I was very hyper targeted. So it was like, women that were like engaged within the last 3 months or friends with people who were engaged within, I didn't choose the entire country. It was like within certain provinces that were close to where the hotel was. And then what I did, I just used like one of these generators to pick the winner. And then after I picked the winner, what I did was I sent out I broadcast a message to all the subscribers saying, hey, and again, it's like you put that first name in, so everything is very personalized. So it's like, hey, Julia, we're so sorry you didn't win, but as a consolation prize, here's a voucher for $25 for dinner at our beachside restaurant. And then
now they have no choice but to book.
Exactly. And I also and by the way, we have a 35% room discount going until December 23rd. Hi, I'm on the phone, honey. So and then again, if they could just click on it, and then that would download all the information about the room types and the room prices and lead them so they could go and make the reservation right away. So it was hugely successful.
Right.
And so now I got 100% open rates and 46% opt-in rates.
And did the hotel make sales? Did it translate into actual sales?
Yes, in fact, we've got people like because this only runs like the 35% off is only running till December 23rd. So they've already gotten bookings, and as well, we've already had people calling to make reservations to come and use their voucher because. Face it, $25, they're not going to come alone. They're going to come with somebody, and they're going to think like, oh, I got $25. Sure, I'll have the extra fancy appetizer. I'll go with the dessert. Let's get that bottle of wine. So they're going to, okay, it's $25 loss leader, but they're going to more than make up for that.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Make sure you get a case study from that client, right? A testimonial.
Yeah. So I was really happy. That was like my first big. And the other thing, I have another bot that I use for my own brand, which is Lazy Bride, which is completely different. It's wedding planning.
Lazy Bride?
Lazy Bride.
Oh, that's awesome.
Lazy Bride. So what I do with them, this is just real quick, another idea that I think would be applicable for everybody, is I get them into the sequence from a slider on my blog, and then I move them through a 5-day sequence. And every day I offer them a different tip, like, hey, here's a way to save money on the bar. And then I link it to an article on my blog. And that walks them through, and there's funny little gifts. And then the last day is when I slip in by the way, if you've enjoyed these 5 money-saving tips, I have 130 more of them in this ebook for $19.
Amazing. Yeah. And it's converting.
And it's converting, yeah. And it's free. Once they're in, I'm not paying any ads. It's just a modal sitting on my blog instead of them opting in for email. They're opting into the bot, and then this throws them right into the sequence.
Yeah. I definitely feel like as an industry, we are all very, very excited about bots, and we all know and we're all aware of them. And the fact that there were so many people on today's call just is a testament to that. But I also would say that very few of us have ventured out into the bot space yet, or we didn't really do it properly. Because when I'm thinking about myself right now, I'm like, I don't actually have any businesses or brands sending me I don't have any right now in my messenger at all. I think I tried one from Frank Kern. I don't even know what happened to that. I don't know if I unsubscribed or if he stopped. He tagged me as a no good. I don't know. But so definitely I'm thinking about it. Like, yes, it is an intimate personal space, your messenger. But if you do this right now, before the 6.5 million other advertisers decide to make the shift that are on Facebook, then you're actually like prime, because you can only imagine, right? In 2 years' time, when everyone else starts to wake up to this and shift their budgets into these strategies, Facebook's going to roll out things like triple opt-ins or whatever, like spam boxes, and they're going to have to change things. Otherwise, Messenger is going to become chaotic. So I think any one of you guys that are on the call right now, you absolutely, at the very least, not even just for your client or your ROAs, but for your professional creative development, so that you can start to flex those muscles, because it's practice, right? Always. You should be starting that on your clients ASAP, right away. And just start, and you'll learn, you'll see what works, you'll see what doesn't work, and you'll adapt, you'll get better. Are you putting your hand up, Larissa?
Yes. Sorry, I'm so comedian. I have one more thing I wanted to say real quick. One of my groups yesterday, someone was saying he did he did campaigns for like a luxury resort. His Google AdWords campaign was $181 per lead. His Facebook ads was coming in at $6. No, crap. I think it was like $60 per lead. And then his using Manychat was coming at $6.80 per lead.
Oof.
Yeah. So I thought that was an interesting stat I wanted to share.
I mean, I definitely got to say, Rutger, like we tested $27,000, and I think that was in June. I published a whole breakdown of it on the blog. I got to say though, after today's training, I'm like, let me go dig up this ad that we had going and see what the hell was going wrong with it. And let's try it again. I'm excited. My mind's kind of like, wow, you know?
Yeah, you can go down a rabbit hole with this. And what I really like what Larissa said as well, and I work with travel with some high-end resorts as well. And what I think Messenger is perfectly a perfect tool for is to qualify your leads as well. And by asking specific questions and segmenting people based on their answers, you can send them different messages, and you can nurture people who give quote unquote the wrong answer. You can nurture them differently than people who are how Scott would say in the fast lane, ready to buy. You can just try to convert them quicker than the other people. And by doing that and looking at Messenger that way, instead of going for the kill, going for the sale, build that report with them, build that relationship, and they will buy, because it's so intuitive, it's so native, it's so super easy to use. And nobody else, well, some people are doing it, but this is the time to do it. This is the time to learn and spend some time to get over that learning curve and just build awesome stuff.
Yeah, so before we wrap it up, we've got one more firefight. I'm just making this up. It's not even like an official thing, but fireside. If anyone else has any tips or ideas, thank you so much, Larissa. That was amazing, by the way. Does anyone else have experience with bots or anything across any industry that they would like to share with the group?
I don't really have either of those things, but I have some notes that I've been taking down. It seems that for e-commerce, what makes sense, and Rutger and also Larissa, what you said was amazing. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. It seems that a lot of the benefit of e-commerce could be based off of giveaways and also gamification. And then I said, okay, great. Well, what can we do for service-based industries? And then what can we do for high-ticket based industries? And I think the only thing that comes to mind for service-based industries, because I'm new to this, is essentially some sort of a contest. Like if I'm a lawyer and I'm a divorce attorney or something like that. Maybe I'm giving away 4 hours or 6 billable hours or something like that as a contest to get other people in. And then I can kind of segment people who don't win that through an educational process. But that's sort of the big thing for me. Like the one note that I took away was, if gamification with bots is really good if you need an educational process to make a purchase. So if I want to go buy a car, I need to understand what type of car I want and why, and which ones I don't want. And I think going through that process on a chatbot is sort of fun to do. Whereas with the service industry, it's a little more, I don't know, it makes more sense to do something giveaway based. But I'm sitting here being like, okay, it's really easy to discount stuff, but what else can we do?
So I actually disagree. I think when you're dealing with dry industries like insurance, real estate, law, yes, giveaways are a good hook. So like insurance lead generation, you'll fucking crush it if you give away $20 fuel vouchers. Like it's plain and simple. Yeah, 80% of the leads are crap, but insurance companies are normally set up with such big sales teams that they don't care because the LTV of the customers are with insurance companies for years and years and years. The other side is gamification. Gamification works really well with dry service-based. For example, I'm not saying this is right, and Brandon is going to laugh at this, but like, is divorce right for you? And I'm not saying you should have a bot that makes such an important life decision for someone.
Doing it right now. It's already loading up.
Should you split up with your partner?
Answer these 3 simple questions.
Yes, but you think about it like this, like what is a 2-home story, or like what kind of home layout is best for your family? Or think about it cleverly, like gamification is one of the most powerful and like it's been around for ages. I remember Cosmo magazines when I was a teenage girl, like, does he have a crush on you? You know what I mean? And you answer 10 questions and then your whole life is like blown to pieces because it says no. And it's like, it's the most like simplest basic thing that's always wrong. But we've always been addicted to that as humans. We love it. It's like those spin the wheels things on those websites. Like people can't help but just be like, I need to spin this fucking wheel. Like I just need to. I have an urge to do it, you know? So it works, and it works really well for service-based industries because those can sometimes be quite dry. Yeah.
Yeah, Manychat is coming up with conditional logic probably within 2 weeks from now. At least in November, they will roll out the conditional logic feature. So then you can go all the way with your gamification and go down the rabbit hole.
But you could still set it up like a canvas at the moment, right? So you have
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's not that clever then. It's not that smart, as in you're not able to give specific. You cannot start different sequences based on specific answers people gave.
Brandon, no matter what they answer on the quiz, yes, you need a divorce.
Exactly.
Good way to get sued. So, okay, guys, we need to wrap today's training up. It's been a long training. Thank you, everyone that contributed. Thank you, Rutger.
You're welcome.
Yes, who's this?
Actually, I'm really confused about, can I connect with my Facebook ad, or I just putting a post in my page? That is my question.
You can absolutely, you have to put a post on your page, but you can create it so you can backdate the post, or you can schedule it so that your fans don't actually see it. But you can absolutely then go into your ad account, create a post engagement objective campaign, so PPE campaign, and select the post that you just created as an ad and put media behind it. Absolutely, because some people only have like 100 likes, so that's not going to get you far, you know? You need spend to get traction usually. Yeah.
Awesome, love it, thank you.
You got it. So for that reason, just remember the whole, even though it's not supposed to exist anymore, the 20% rule, it obviously clearly freaking does. Facebook's still not that big of a fan of it. So just remember that when you're doing your images, if you're going to put ad spend behind it. So thank you so much, Rutger. Awesome training. This is giving me a migraine looking at your funnel right now.
Yeah, that's a travel funnel. So Larissa, if you want to hook up with, look at this travel thing, it's pretty awesome. It's still work in progress, but it's going through a reservation flow.
Yeah. And thank you everyone that shared. That's been amazing. I would love it if you guys shared in the group, whether you're in Ad Hacks Premium, FATC, or Academy, or the Mastermind. Like when you're building those bots, like share it with people, right? We're here to support each other. There's more than enough clients, all of that to go around. So that's why you're in these groups, to have this community to get ideas from. So share it with your peers. I will as well. I'm about to tell my team, like, yo, we need to build bots. So I'm excited. All right, guys. So have an awesome day, Academy guys. I will see you guys on the call tomorrow. And yeah, get building with those bots, guys.
Build those bots. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Cheers, guys.
Yeah. Bye.
Thanks, Rekka.